You know, when you get into your later years, past 60 or 70, you start noticing things that completely flew over your head when you were younger. The funny thing is, the answers were always right there in front of us, but we were just too busy chasing the next big thing to actually see them. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned after all these decades on this earth is that, honestly, looking poor can be one of the smartest choices you make as you get older. Now, before you get offended, let me clarify. I'm not talking about actually living in poverty or wearing clothes with holes in them. I'm talking about reaching a point where you just completely drop the need to advertise your success to the world. When I was a younger man, I fell for the same trap a lot of us do. I genuinely believed people were paying attention to me. I thought they noticed my car, my watch, the size of my house. I thought if you worked hard and did well, you had to make sure everyone else saw it. I spent years building this outward image, trying to prove myself to old friends, neighbors, or people who maybe doubted me back in the day. But getting older has this funny way of shattering illusions. You eventually wake up and realize that the people you were trying so hard to impress aren't thinking about you at all. They're too busy worrying about their own health, their own bills, their own kids. Most people are just trying to get through their own day. They aren't lying awake at night analyzing the badge on your car. I remember sitting in a cafe years ago, watching fancy cars roll by and people in expensive suits walk past. And you know what I realized? Nobody actually cared. They'd glance for a second and go right back to their phones and their own problems. It hit me that I had spent years performing on a stage for an audience that had already gone home. That realization didn't change me overnight, but it slowly shifted something inside. I stopped asking, what will people think? And started asking, what do I actually want? Not what a commercial tells me to want, or what my ego demands. What do I genuinely want right now? And the answers were pretty simple. I wanted peace. I wanted time. I wanted quiet mornings with a cup of coffee, listening to the birds. I wanted long talks with people I care about, and the freedom to just wake up and breathe. See, the problem with status is that it never comes alone. People think they're just buying a luxury car, but they're actually buying the insurance, the repairs, the constant worry about scratching it. They think they're buying a massive house, but they're really buying the upkeep, the cleaning, the endless maintenance. When we're young, we trade our time for money, foolishly assuming we'll have plenty of time later. But when you get to be my age, you realize time was the real currency all along. The bigger your stuff gets, the more it ends up owning you. I've known folks living in gorgeous houses who never actually sit down to enjoy them because they're always working on them, fixing them, paying for them. They look successful from the outside, but they have zero freedom. On the flip side, I've known guys who live in small, modest homes and drive 10-year-old sedans. To the world, they're invisible, but they own their time. They can take a Tuesday morning off to walk by the water or read a book. Which guy is actually wealthy? When you're in your 70s or 80s, the answer is pretty obvious. There's a question I think everyone over 60 should ask themselves. If nobody ever saw it, would you still want it? If no one knew what you drove, would you buy it? If no one ever walked through your front door, would you need all that space? It's an uncomfortable question because it shows how much of what we buy is just for other people. It's the younger version of us still trying to compete and earn approval. But let me tell you, needing other people's approval is one of the heaviest things you can carry. The second you stop needing the world to validate your worth, you feel physically lighter, you sleep better, you breathe easier. And that's why so many of us naturally fade into simpler lives as we age. It's Not because we've given up, it's because we finally get it. Once you get it, you start finding luxury in places you never looked before. Real luxury isn't a flashy watch or a sports car. Real luxury is waking up without anxiety. It's having the freedom to do absolutely nothing on a Tuesday afternoon. It's being able to say no without feeling guilty. It's being completely comfortable in your own skin when no one is watching. I learned this the hard way years ago. I bought this beautiful, head-turning car. I had dreamed about it for years, but once I had it, everywhere I went, people stared. They wanted to talk about it, compare it, or race me. Instead of feeling proud, I felt exposed and stressed. One day, after a really annoying encounter on the road, I just sat in the driveway and asked myself, who is this actually for? It wasn't bringing me joy. It was just creating noise. So I sold it, and I never looked back. It taught me that visible success often attracts the wrong kind of attention, envy, comparison, unsolicited opinions. As you get older, privacy becomes so much more valuable than recognition. These days, my life is wonderfully simple. I still appreciate good quality, but I buy things because they make my life easier, not because they make me look good. The opinions of strangers just don't matter anymore. The race is over. A lot of guys my age complain about feeling invisible, like society doesn't pay attention to them now that their careers are over, and the world is obsessed with youth. But I tell them, invisibility is the greatest gift of getting old. When nobody expects you to prove anything, you are finally free to just be yourself. You can wear what's comfortable, spend your money on experiences, and travel without making a scene. Some people spend their whole lives working themselves to the bone, taking on debt, and stressing over appearances, only to realize at the end that they traded their peace for the approval of people who didn't even care. I made those mistakes too. I wanted the attention when I was young, but age strips all that away until only the real truths are left. Your health, your relationships, your time, your peace of mind. Almost everything else is just noise. There is such a deep comfort in reaching the end of your life without the heavy burden of trying to impress anyone. You don't have to prove your wealth or your intelligence anymore. You just get to live. And ironically, when you stop trying to look important, you actually become a lot more interesting to be around. I've sat with guys who owned almost nothing, but had so much wisdom. And I've seen miserable folks with everything. The happiest moments of my life cost absolutely nothing. Sitting with someone I love, walking in the rain, listening to old music, watching my grandkids laugh. None of that requires status. So, if you're listening to this and you're past 60, 70, or 80, I want you to know that you've spent enough years carrying other people's expectations. You've spent enough time trying to meet standards you didn't even create. It's time to set that baggage down. Buy what serves you. Keep what brings you joy. Let go of what's just meant to impress the neighbors. Protect your peace, your time, and your freedom, because at the end of the day, nobody remembers the size of your house or the brand of your car. They remember how you made them feel. They remember your kindness, your laugh, and the way you carried yourself. You don't become poor by looking ordinary. You become truly rich the moment you no longer need to look important. I'd much rather walk quietly through this world with a peaceful heart than carry the exhausting weight of impressing people who are too busy worrying about themselves. The older I get, the more thankful I am for simple days, honest talks, and the freedom to just be me. Thanks for spending a little time with me today. I always appreciate these conversations. If any of this resonated with you, maybe think about it over a cup of coffee or share it with a friend who might need to hear it. Take good care of yourselves out there. Be kind to each other, and remember, That peace is worth a whole lot more than appearances. Have a quiet evening and a gentle tomorrow.